Hello everyone, I'm Rick Jenkins, the publisher at SCBIZ News. We're the media company serving about 100,000 business executives throughout South Carolina. Welcome to SCBIZtv, and welcome to another episode in our ongoing video series, Coffee With. Today I'm having coffee with Sharon Wilson and Nick Carlson from Wilson Associates Real Estate in Greenville. Sharon is the president and broker in charge, and Nick is vice president and broker. Wilson Associates, founded in 2014, they've quickly become one of the top real estate agencies in the Upstate. Sharon and Nick, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
It is good to have you, Nick. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Now, Sharon and I, we have met a few times before in the past. This is my first time spending a little bit of time with Nick, so I look forward to the conversation. You guys have an awesome office space.
Thank you.
On East Broad, down by Northampton Wines. I came to see you a few years ago and walked into your building, and I was stunned by how cool this building is. Okay, so if you go to Northampton, you pick up a glass of wine, check out these guys' building right next to you. It was the old, what was it?
It was Carolina Power and Light. It was originally. So right. On the main level, it's concrete floors, and you could still see the imprints of numbers where they would measure wire. Right. And then upstairs is the old heart pine floors and the beams,
right.
with the offices. So we absolutely love it. It's eccentric, but it's fun, and you remember us.
That's
Our
right.
building's really cool.
No, you do. Every time I go down there, and I go to Northampton's probably once or twice a month, and so I always see that building and remember my time in it. Gorgeous exposed brick and those big, huge windows.
And it's an open space, so it's very collaborative with our agents, so that's nice.
Right. Okay, so you all started Wilson Associates in 2014, right?
Yeah.
We did.
You worked together before you started this venture.
We did.
And I'm assuming you liked each other a little bit or you wouldn't have gone into this. Tell me how all that started.
Oh, gosh. Well, we worked together for a few years beforehand.
Yeah.
And then we realized that, well, when she would be out of town or I'd be out of town, we would kind of handle each other's business, and we realized that we worked the same way. Right. And that was really, really helpful for what we decided to do later on.
Right.
And so, we both had a very good working relationship with the agency we came from, but we had done kind of all we could do there in the sales positions we were in. So we just decided it was time for a non-franchise kind of high-end agency.
Right.
And so it was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. I would say we've never worked as hard, but we've never had as much fun. I mean, it's been a great, fun thing to do. After, I had sold, 6 plus years when I did this. So this was a big leap to be doing this. And Nick had been close to 15 years when he did it. Yeah.
You mentioned high-end agency. You all refer to yourself as a boutique firm.
Right.
Right. Now, I know what a boutique hotel is, and so I can imagine what a boutique real estate agency is, but for our viewers, just give them an idea of what that really means.
Well, for us, we're non-franchised and local. But it's us when I think of boutique, I think of luxury. I don't think of luxury as a price point. I think of it as a level of service. So we sell off price points, but the level of service that we demand that our agents give to their clients, to the community, and to other agents is how we are known. And it is very much hands-on, very much the best way to do stuff.
Right. And I know you probably stress that with all of your agents. I have been around your agents from time to time. I have met them. And I told you this before we came in here, that I'm always struck by your agents because they are always incredibly smart, incredibly intelligent, and every daggone one of them looks like a model, whether it is a man or a woman. They make me insecure, and so I have to leave. But you have wonderful agents.
Oh, it's all about your people.
Right.
Nick and I may have formed the company, but that's all we did. It's our people who have grown the company. And we've made very wise choices on who we've hired and who we have gone to for advice, because you always want to be better. And so it was probably slower to grow. We don't want to be a big company. Mm-hmm. And we were very deliberate in who we hired for that very reason. And I do agree they all look good, but they're all very smart.
Of course they are, and I led with that.
Yes, you did.
I led with intelligence, okay?
Yes, you did.
I led with intelligence. All right, let's talk about the Greenville market, which is absolutely booming, as is South Carolina in general, right? But But in Greenville, I mean, let's face it, great place to live, right?
Yes.
The tax situation is good for people in terms of payroll taxes, and it's a beautiful place. The cost of living is low, right? The weather is good. It's a mild climate, and it's a good place to live. As a matter of fact, recent statistics show that about 32, 33 people every day on average are moving into the Greenville market. Do you all feel that? I would assume you're probably working a mile a minute all the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think that COVID did a lot to help us out. I mean, we had lots of people who were coming from other areas of the United States, like New York was a big study rush down here. But the way that houses have sold has changed too, especially since, well, the past couple of years. I mean, we're trying to get used to some of these things like FaceTime showings and things like that. Greenville has such notoriety in all magazines and by winning awards and everything else that it's interesting to hear these people who are coming from other areas who've just read about us and want to know more about it don't even get in a car and come here. We just show it on the phone and they can see videos online. It's amazing.
Well, so when I first started selling real estate, you only moved to Greenville if it was for family or job. Now it's switched totally. People come here because they choose to live in Greenville. And with COVID, because so many people can work from wherever they choose to live, they're coming to climates that are like ours. They're coming to cost of living like where we are. And so that's really flipped the switch on who chooses to move here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, every time you're on social media, you're going to see a new story pop in about how great Greenville is. You all have a tagline, "We are everywhere." Right?
Yes.
Tell me about that. First of all, do you mostly deal in Greenville County, or is it upstate?
Well, I mean, that would be the most of our
majority,
sales are in Greenville County, but we sell the whole upstate. We're members of Spartanburg, Greenwood, Greenville, and Western Upstate MLS. So we service a big area.
Got it. So you are everywhere. Tell me about that tagline.
Well, you want to tell her how that happened?
Well, I mean, it was kind of funny. We were sitting at Sharon's kitchen table, and we were trying to come up with logos and everything else.
Now, when was this? This
was
early on.
Yeah, early on, 2015, back in the
all right, when it started.
and we were trying to come up with a tagline and everything, and then we were going through social media, we were going through all of our print ads and everything. We're like, God, we're everywhere, and it kind of just stuck.
Well, so you start selling with what you know,
Yeah.
and as you grow, what your listing grows, and as you hire people where they are grows. And yet we had people said, I saw your sign over here in Five Forks. I saw your sign in Traverse Rest. And we looked and said, we are everywhere. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's how it just happened. And we said, that's what we want to be. We don't want to be just one location. So,
That's right. And then we started our collaboration with Leading RE, which is a group of independent companies and all around the United States. And that's where a lot of the leads have come from, with people moving from out of state coming here.
It's a worldwide referral network.
Yeah. So that truly makes us everywhere. So we are everywhere.
You talked about luxury, Sharon.
Yes.
And you talked about it not only in the sense of a luxury home, as an
Price
example,
point,
but in the sense of a level of customer service.
It
And
really
I think
is.
that's a great way to put it. So tell me a little bit about that. What do you all do? I mean, do you have conversations with your agents about customer service and how we treat people?
That would be our Wilson Wednesdays.
Wilson Wednesdays.
Yes.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I will tell you, first of all, our agents understand what we expect from them. It's really not a conversation with them of how to treat people. It's just how to be better at it and how to support them with services we can give them to help that.
Right.
Because I think it's not just go find them a house here, fill out the paper, we're done. It is who's the best person to inspect it, who's a good real estate attorney, who do you want to look at the air condition, who does this, and then following through with all of that, not just giving them phone numbers and say, go do it.
Right.
It's really, particularly for people who are not from here, they don't know who to call.
That's right.
They don't know what to do. It's trailing spouse. My wife did so-and-so. Where is she going to get a job? My child's a soccer player. What do children who are 12 years old, where do they play soccer? So it's a full service. It's not just about the house.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
For the most part, and I know not completely, but for the most part, you specialize in listing luxury homes?
I think well, in Greenville right now, the average price point is just under 400.
Yeah, in April the average price point was around 340,000.
Okay.
The median price was around 290,000.
And ours is closer to 600.
Yeah,
It's
570,
just
580, something like that.
Okay, so I want to make sure I heard you right.
Yeah.
When you were saying a little less than 300, you're talking about the upstate average as a whole.
The upstate
Greenville
average is
MLS.
around 340. The median home price in Greenville is around 290.
I see.
Yeah.
Overall, and then you all are what again? You say about
just under
600?
600, 580.
Okay,
around that
all right. So for the most part, you deal with
Yeah,
luxury
and
homes.
we do a lot of luxury homes, the over $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. But that's we also sell $250,000.
Sure, of course. So let's talk about, since we're talking about Greenville and downtown a little, let's talk about luxury condominiums,
Wow.
which seem to just
They're out of sight.
grow and grow. The number of them just keep coming, and it amazes me that there is such a demand for these high-end
They are.
condominiums.
They are.
Tell me about it. What's your experience?
Well, our experience is if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Truly. We were represented a new development that Westgate had 6, 7
6 or 7, yeah.
high-end townhomes, and they all sold pretty quickly. And they're building them, and the nicer they are,
Yeah.
the demand and that's another luxury. When you think about condominiums, you don't think about square footage like you do a luxury house. It's amenities within it.
Right.
And if you have a vertical building like a condo that has any kind of outdoor space or rooftop space, that's just as important to them as an interior space. So that's what you're starting to see now. It's more and more of that.
Do you have any feel for what the average condominium is going for in downtown
It
Greenville?
depends on where you are.
Yeah.
It really depends.
It's a
on where you are.
location-driven thing.
Right.
I mean, you've got some of the newer ones that are going up on some of the emphasis areas, like over near Unity Park, and those are a little more affordable. And I'm putting that in context too,
Yeah, right.
than you would be in the central business district
Yeah.
or over at Augusta Road or stuff like that.
Right. What about the Camperdown project? The old Greenville News building that
Yeah.
I used to work at many years ago
Yeah.
is now gone, and now they got those high-rise condos up at the top. Tell me what those things go for.
Oh, well, they ain't
buy
gone for anything.
you would
Yeah.
buy the shell. So the shells all were over $1 million, and then you finished out the interior.
Yeah.
Really, I
So-
did
And they're
not
all
realize
gone.
that.
They're
They're
all
all
sold out.
sold. They're
You
all
buy a
sold.
shell for $1 million.
Or
$1.5
more.
million, I think,
Some of
so.
them were more than. I mean, they go way on up, depending on what the view was and how high you are in the building.
Yeah.
And those views are the most spectacular views.
Of course they are.
They're absolutely spectacular.
You see people buying those for personal reasons, or are they investment properties?
No,
Are
they live in them.
being-
They live in them.
They do. Yeah. Okay. All right.
And those they do.
Right.
And a lot of those people have vacation homes, like at the beach or the lake, mountains. So they got out of the bigger house in Greenville. This is kind of a lock and leave. You don't have that maintenance when you go out of town.
Yeah.
So they still want the luxury, and they still want the high-end everything inside.
Right.
But they can go stay for a month at the beach or the lake or wherever they want to go.
Okay. Well, good for them.
But
That's
there's
fine.
a lot of condo projects on the docket. So, I mean, you're going to see a lot more of
You're
those.
going to
gonna
see
keep
more
coming.
coming.
Yeah.
They won't be as extravagant as Camperdown, but they'll
Right.
be.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're going to see them in different areas that are emphasis areas for the city. It's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah. So much different than Charleston, if you
Right.
look at the downtown area,
Yeah.
comparing downtown Greenville to the historic district in Charleston. Both of them extremely, extremely impressive in their own right, but quite different, yeah.
They are very different. But I think Greenville, when the first vertical new construction condo was formed in North Main, which is up north of the Hyatt, and that was, the first one that happened. And you look back at how hard it was to get people to move downtown, and now, oh my gosh, we can't find enough.
Exactly.
The demand greatly exceeds the supply down there.
Exactly. Nick, before we came in here, you and I were talking a little bit about a new contract for the folks of South Carolina that benefits the buyer, as we were discussing. And this is a contract that all agencies, all brokers will be using across the state
Starting Monday.
starting Monday. Please tell me about this.
Well, it's a due diligence contract.
All right.
So our neighboring states in Georgia and North Carolina already do this. What we voted back earlier part of the year at our SC board meeting, SC Realtors board meeting, and with little resistance, it really came to pass. Currently, our contract has a couple of options with it as far as how you purchase it. The due diligence contract is just going to have one due diligence period with a termination attached to it. So it's going to make the process a little more streamlined. There's going to be kinks. There always is. We've been trying to educate our agents. We've had lots of attorneys come and talk to us. We've had
Train our agents on the new contract.
Lots of people from the state have done Zoom calls and video calls, just prepping us all for it. But it's going to be a change from what we're seeing now. And it's going to make the playing field a little more even for buyers and sellers for whatever kind of market we're in. So we're excited about it, I think.
We are. I mean, change is always scary. Right. You know, it's a comfort right now because we've been using this contract for a while, and it's just, you know exactly what it means, and this is going to be a change, but, you know, that's not a bad thing.
All right. Folks, let's end it on this. Sharon, I know that philanthropy is extremely important to you.
It is.
And Nick, I know it's extremely important to you guys. Tell me about that, and tell me what you guys do at your agency and what your folks do to give back to the community.
Well, our company culture is built on giving back and service. And, you know, as a real estate company, we owe so much to the community that has given us the opportunity to make the living that we do is in Greenville. And so our goal has not been just to stick with housing, but to do lots of different areas. So we have been very involved with Cancer Society, Project Host, and the Feed the Hungry Children problem, the arts, Julie Valentine, Laugh for the Cure. I'm sure I'm leaving out several. I mean, there are lots more than that. But our most recent one that we're very proud of is Unity Park. And when they were doing the fundraising for Unity Park, we're not a big enough company to build bridges and towers, but we realized they hadn't done bike racks. So we spearheaded the effort with other real estate companies to donate money for bike racks at the park. And so we're very proud that we were able to do that and give back to because the park system has helped every real estate company in Greenville.
Sure.
Our park system is pretty spectacular.
Right. Nick, not only as a firm do you all do this, but you all like your agents to give back too, right?
We do. We do. In fact, we were talking about this too whenever we sit down with new agents who are joining us and we start talking about philanthropic efforts and everything else. We want to know what they're interested in as well, so we can encourage them to go out and do what other agents have gone out and done. I think it's a real testament to the way that they treat Greenville, the way Greenville's treated them. And it is great to give back. I mean,
and it talks about the really me. And, you know, if a person's willing to give back of their time or their talents or their resources, I think that tells you a lot about the caliber of people they are.
Agreed. Folks, that was good stuff. Thank you for joining.
Well, this is nice to see you again.
It's good to see you again. Folks, that is Sharon Wilson. She is the president and broker in charge at Wilson Associates, and Nick Carlson here is the vice president and broker also at Wilson. And again, appreciate you all joining us.
Thank you.
Everyone stick around on SCBIZtv, see if there's anything else you might like to catch, and we will see you next time.